They bow to her. They recognize that their own individual powers are aspects of her power. In other words, all of us, each of us, the energy that's present in this body comes from that source of energy, storehouse of energy, who is Ma. It's the energy that makes you see, that makes you speak, that makes you walk, that makes you perform all your activities. Without that energy, we become immobile, we become motionless, we become, in fact, extinct. So the Devatas, they are very pleased with this form of Ma. And what they decided to do, each of them decided to make a gift to her, to present her with one of these symbols that she has in her many hands. So let us look at these symbols, who gave what and what it represents. So first of all, Bhagavan Shiva, from his Trishul in his hand, he duplicates another Trishul from there, and he places the Trishul in one of her hands. So this Trishul in the hand of Mother Durga, or Durgama, is a duplicate from that Trishul that is in the hand of Lord Shiva. That's where this Trishul came from. Bhagavan Shiva created a second Trishul from that Trishul and presents it to her. Now this Trishul is trident, is a three-pointed weapon. And the purpose of this Trishul is to annihilate all darkness and illusions. And the greatest illusion is ego itself. So to destroy that. And that ego, of course, is in the form of Mahishasura, as we saw. Where ego means might is right. It's called the ego trinity. You know the ego trinity? What is it called? Me, myself, and I. That's the ego trinity. Me, myself, and I. It's all about me, about myself, it's I. It's I-ness. Ahamkara is called. I-ness. Ahamkara. It's I-ness, mineness, that's the ego. Now this ego is a very powerful enemy that you have to deal with. Because when you're steeped in this ego, then there's nobody like you. No one like you. So you might be able to identify some people in the world who you see or who you know are steeped in ego. Some rulers also who have powers who are very egotistical. And you see what the outcome is. A lot of tariffs. Well, this ego is what this coconut here represents when you offer your balidan to Mother. You see, this coconut is a very special fruit and a very special symbol because it's got 3 eyes on it. And those 3 eyes represent the ego trinity that we speak of. Me, myself, and I. When you're performing Durga Puja, you want to offer to Ma the purity of your heart that is devoid of ego, that doesn't have any tinge of ego, that is pure in nature, that is impeccable. So in order to get to that point, to offer to her this purity of your love, a lot of layers got to be removed. So the first layer that has to be removed is that outer shell of the coconut. That's literally that outer layer, right? Now, that outer layer, what is it like? It is very tough, it's very hard, see, and it is dark also in complexion. So with your bare hands, you cannot manage to crush this, regardless how strong you are. So you need an object, see, to crack this coconut, to crack this ego, to break this ego. Then, once this is broken, well, immediately what you see is that its inner counterpart is totally the contrast to the outer counterpart, means that inside this coconut now, it is not dark like the outer shell, but it is white. There's a reason why it is white. It is not brown, it's not green, it's not black. Or see, it is white. So that the whiteness represents the purity of the mind minus ego. When this ego is absent, the mind, reveals its innate purity. That is comparable to the purity of a newborn baby, for example. This newborn baby doesn't have any ego. This newborn baby doesn't have all this lust, greed, all these things. You see, the mind then, at that early stage of birth or infancy, is very pure in nature, and pure like the whiteness, the kernel or the jelly of this coconut. Then, contained now in that, within that, the precincts of that kernel is the sweet water of this fruit that you offer to mom that represents the purity of your love and devotion. So that ego, you have to break that first. Now when ego is gone, you know what happens? You become the humblest of humble persons. You become the most down-to-earth person. You become the simplest person. Anybody can talk to you. See? Because that ego is not here anymore. Now what makes us egoistic? Power. Power, possessions, status, fame, popularity. All of these things boost one's ego. Before you didn't have any of these, you're okay, you're normal. As soon as you start getting one by one, you start go up the ladder, and nobody like you anymore. You gotta make an appointment to talk to you. So that's ego. So this ego is a very dangerous thing, very dangerous. So the ego manifests as Mahishasura. So mother has to come to destroy this ego. So the reason why Bhagavan Shiva places this Trishul in her hand, if you look at the Mahishasura blood, the war between Durga Ma and Mahishasura. Now Mahishasura, a very powerful demon, was not an easy target, because while she's fighting with Mahishasura, he's changing his forms. One thing he becomes an elephant, one thing he becomes a buffalo, one thing becomes himself, see? And all of these many forms and incarnation he takes as she's fighting with him on the battlefield, and it's a very difficult target to destroy. And eventually, when he becomes his real form, then she throws a noose around his neck, and then she gradually tightens this noose around his neck, and then when his noose is tight and he falls to the ground, then she takes the same Trishul, and she slays Mahishasura. That is how he was destroyed. So that is how the ego is destroyed, with this Trishul. Now this Trishul also represents the three gunas, Sat, Raj, and Tam. And in these three gunas, we ought to subdue. And see Bhagavan Shiva, this Trishul in his hand, and placing this Trishul in the hand of Durga Ma means that she is above the three gunas as well. Then Bhagavan Vishnu, secondly, Bhagavan Vishnu, who is the preserver and the maintainer of the cosmic order of the entire universe, who is the purveyor and the protector of Dharma. Now that Bhagavan Vishnu, what he did, he brought forth a spinning chakra, which is a product of his own chakra, the discus in his hand. So from that discus, he creates a second discus, second chakra, and he places it in one of her hands. You see the chakra? The right hand, the chakra in her hand next to the sword. That's the chakra. Bhagavan Vishnu places that chakra in the hand of mother. So when that chakra spins, it warps time itself. And it brings the life story of the evildoers to an abrupt end, destroys them. That's what the chakra does. Chakra also puts an end to the repetitive cycles of birth and death. That's the meaning of that, because it symbolizes the time. So, figuratively, it means it halts the perpetuation or the continuity of ignorance. It destroys, which lies at the root of every sinful action that is performed with a human being. And thirdly, Brahma, who is the creator, he gave her a mala. He got a mala, which is a prayer beads, and a holy pot, a kamandal, that is placed also in one of her hands as well. Now that represents the purity of thought, and recreating herself in the light of truth in every situation. The Samudra, ocean god, Shank conchal, through which the sound Om emanates and reverberates across all the galaxies. And that sound was reassuring to all the dharmic people, to all the devotees. See, when you hear that the sound, the cosmic vibration, what it does, it kindles in your heart that spark of divinity. You're surrounded, you're in a puja, for example, and it is sound out, it creates a different feeling in the mind. That's it. But at the same time, it would ignite fear in the hearts of the non-dharmic people, like the asuras, when they hear that chant resounding. So, give her the garlands made of never-fading flowers to wear around her neck as well. Now, Agni Dev, with the holy fire, he presented to her a spear in her hand. And of course, that is the weapon which to destroy the demons. And Vayudev, who is the wind deity, gifted her a bow and arrow, and 2 inexhaustible quivers full of arrows were presented to her by Vayudevata. Indradev, who is the king of the Devatas, he presents to her a thunderbolt and a bell from his elephant. Then Yam, the god of death, he gives to her a staff from his own staff, and a single blow from the staff would cause instant death to any enemy. Then Varun, the lord of the waters, gave her a noose, and that can act as I said, a deadly noose that quickly puts an end to demons, and also gave her a beautiful lotus to hold in her hands. And Suryadev, the sun god, Suryadev, whom we worship, Suryadeva, who radiates light and warmth through every pore of his skin, shone this radiance. So this aura, this glow about Divine Mother is a reflection of that brilliance of Suryadev in her body as well. And Kaladev, which is the god of time, gave Mother a sword and a sparkling shield representing her immortality. And Vishwakarma, the celestial architect, gave her ornaments and missiles and unbreakable armor for protection. And Himawat, the great mountain king, gave her gems, and in addition to the gems, gave her a vehicle. So this vehicle is the lion. So this lion she received as a vehicle from Himawat, the lord of the mountains. Now, you want to know why the lion is her vehicle, why she rides the lion. Well, Durga Ma has come, you see, at a time when there's male domination in the universe. See, male in a patriarchal society where there's male hegemony, meaning that only people from the male gender are in control. They're the bosses, they're the rulers, and in a society where females are being ostracized and being neglected and deprived of opportunity. See, Ma has come to show the world that with opportunity, the female can pretty much do anything that males can do, and more in the world. Now, we must understand that Sanatana Dharma, at no point in time and in none of the scriptures has ever put down the females. The females are inferior than males. In fact, when you look at the Srimad Devi Bhagavatam, what you find, there's one very classic picture there of Ma Kali standing on the chest of whom? Lord Shiva. Right? Now that alone tells you, right, that the power of the female. Then you look at another iconography that shows the Ardhanarishwar form, where 50% is male Shiva and the other 50% is female. See, that is not 51-49, not 60-40, 50 and 50. And now that extends also into every organism, where we also, in this body of ours, we also share 50% of mother genes and 50% of father genes as well. That's how it works. So that shows that you don't have to live in this century here or in these times here to figure out that this is a time of gender equality. That Ardhanarishwar form, that is gender equality. And that has been from time immemorial. That is the position of the female in our Hindu pantheon and in our society. So, what happened was that 500 years ago, more than 500 years ago, with the invasion of the Mughals in India, you see, from that point onwards, a different culture embraced the society then, and the result of which women were being oppressed in many ways. Still, you have today in many societies around the world where women are deprived of an education, where deprived of their inherent freedom that they possess, deprived of that freedom. And it is sad because it's the law of the land and nothing can be done about it. Very sad. So Sanatana Dharma has always postulated the female as Ma, as the goddess. So riding on that lion signifies the power of the female. She's come to teach the world the sovereignty of her limitless powers. When she is Ma, she is above everything else Shakti. Shakti is power. And in the Hindi vocabulary, in the Hindi alphabet, there are no capital letters. There's no capital letters, right? There's no capitalization, so to speak. S and common S, right? Capital and common. And it makes a difference when a capital is used. See, when you put S, capital S is Shakti, and that alone tells you refers to Ma. Right? Without a capital S, it's a small s, it means there's power, like everybody has its Shakti in them. But the capital S, you know exactly referring to Ma, to Shakti. The same thing will happen. We put the Deva, for example, it could be Deva, can refer to anyone, with a capital, and it refers to the Lord. So she rides that lion, and the lion means she sits on this animal, referring to the fact of her dominion over animalistic tendencies. So she is teaching, telling all of us that is what we need to do also. We need to subdue all these animal tendencies. The aspirant needs to do that if we are pursuing the path of liberation, the path of spirituality in life. So this Hema wanted to give her that lion there for the vehicle. And so all these deities, they equipped her so that she could, then she spoke, and Ma spoke to all the devatas, and her voice boomed with a power that stirred the entire universe, reverberated, echoed throughout all three worlds. And she says, "Fear not, I am the Shakti. I have manifested as Durga to avenge you and to relieve you from the suffering caused by the Asuras." So the first set of words that she spoke was to reassure not only Devatas, but to reassure all of us So the first two words, he says, fear not. You take that seriously, fear not. You see, the fear not, she's speaking to those words with her hand. It's called the Abhay Mudra. When her hand is like this, you see this hand? So this gesture, this hand gesture, is telling you these two words, fear not, all will be well. So when you have a problem, and you go to mom, and you catch that glance, and you right away you can communicate with her, then you can read what she's telling you there. Fear not. Have you ever experienced that? You have a problem with your health, you have a problem with whatever source of the problem, and you pray to her, and she speaks to you. The more she speaks to you, you must understand the language in which she speaks to you. If you can understand the language, my dear brothers and sisters, trust me, all the answers to your questions you will get from her. You just speak to her, and she speaks back to you. Now you must have a close relationship with her. Every day you speak to her. See, and you will know. You will know when she speaks to your conscience, she speaks to you. You not hear her audible voice, but she speaks to you. You get the message. You get the signal whether things are going to be okay or not okay. So, the first words she says, fear not. That is, it is Abhay Mudra. Fear not. So if she tells you, fear not, it means you must not fear. So if she tells you must not fear, you still fear, then what happens? Then you don't trust her. So you have to have that faith when she speaks to you. Trust in her, because with mom, the impossible becomes possible. You may see this mountain as so tall. How are you going to climb this mountain? How do you get up there? And she just waves her hand like this. The next thing you're over the mountain. That is how it works. Mahadev he wanted to run in all 50 states of this country. Now, if anyone were to tell me that you were to run more than half of the country, that's again an impossible thing to do. And little by little, in a couple of years from now, he would fulfill his dream. Because what you need to do that is energy. And the energy is the source of Ma. So when she makes it happen, see, she blesses you, now the impossible becomes possible. And you will accomplish a feat which millions of Americans can only dream about. Can't even initiate in the first step. So that is how it works. You see, my dear brothers and sisters. So nothing is impossible for Mother. Nothing is impossible. You must have that faith. Have that faith. Have that devotion. Trust in her. Trust in His powers. And then you will see it for yourself. You will experience it for yourself. And if things are not meant to happen, then you must not blame her or doubt her. But when she knows your heart is pure and sincere, and she knows you really need something that's beneficial for you, that is good for you, then she delivers for you. Sometimes it may not be in your time, but in her time. If she knows it's urgent, she knows when to deliver it as well. That is the kind of relationship we must have with Mother. So she spoke and she says, fear not, I am the Shakti. I am Shakti means I am the power. And there's no power like that Shakti. And I manifested as Durga to protect you and to relieve you from your suffering. And I will defeat the Asuras and destroy the Mahishasur in you. But that demon, that Durga was destroyed, he still continues to live. That's the thing. Ravan was destroyed by Sri Ram, but he's still alive. Isn't that so? And you may say, well, I know who you're talking about. I know this Ravan who I'm talking about. I can pinpoint some people who are Ravan. No, you can't do that. You got to pinpoint him inside of us. He dwells in all of us. He dwells in us. All these deities are in us, the Asuras in us as well. So you have to identify and extricate these negative traits from us through the powers of Mom, decorated with the ornaments and all the weapons. So Mom single-handedly, she faced the entire army of demons and she defeated all of them, millions of these Asuras. So there's nothing impossible for Ma to do. So my dear brothers and sisters, as we gather here this evening once again to ponder the powers of Mother, we must use this opportunity and this occasion to develop and to maintain and to nurture a beautiful relationship with Mom. You can see this relationship with Mother. There are many relationships you have in life. You have relationship between husband and wife, between mother and child, between father and child, between siblings, between friends. You know, so many forms of relationship you have. All of these will fade out one day. They'll go away. They'll be severed one day. With death, the bond is severed. Sometime before death, divorce happens. See? Love turned into hate. All these things happen. The relationship between us and Mother, however, remains not only in life, but it survives this very lifetime. And more importantly, when you have exited the world, then you become one with the Mother. She protects you, she leads you out of the world, and she paves the way for your soul to be in harmony with her. So tonight, I pray once again that may the blessings of Mom be with all of us. You know, the essence of time, we want to stick to our time as well and finish on time every night. We have a couple of nights more to go. And we want you to join us again for the balance of these nights. Just to remind you, before we conclude tonight, that tomorrow night we shall continue our celebration, Navratri celebration, and then on Saturday we will have Ramnavami celebration here during the daytime from 9 a.m. This is sponsored every year by Puraji. So we look forward to that as well. And also, Saturday night we'll be having Kanya Puja. So Kanya Puja, please come prepare for that as well. Let's start here on time. And Sunday morning we shall conclude our Navratri celebration. So Sunday morning will be the final service. So we expect all of you to please join us. We'll be happy to have you for the remaining balance of it, especially for our Kanya Puja and for our Navratri celebration on Saturday. So we shall now conclude this bhajan tomorrow. हे मात मेरी, 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 कैसी तेरे लगाई दुर्गी, हे मात मेरी, हे मात मेरी, कैसी हे मात मेरी, ना मैं किसी का ना कोई मेरा, चारों तरफ अंधेरा, पत्थर की ज्योति दिखा दो दसदा। हे बात मेरी, हे बात मेरी, ऐसे तेरी लगाई दुर्गे। हे बात मेरी, 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 हे तेरा द्वार भवानी, भक्तों की लगी है किताब भवानी, प्यारा सजा है तेरा द्वार भवानी, भक्तों की लगी है कतार भवानी। ऊंच पर्वत भवन निराला, ऊंच पर्वत भवन निराला, महेशी भवन संसार भवानी, प्यारा सजा है तेरा द्वार भवानी, भक्तों की लगी है कतार भवानी। जगमग जगमग ज्योति जगे है, जगमग जगमग ज्योति जगे है, चरणों में गंगा की हार भवानी, सवेरे मुझको दर्शन दे के मैया आगे जगा दे मेरी मन पे तेरी पूजा की दर्शन सवेरे मुझको दर्शन दे के मैया जगा दे मेरे मुझको दर्शन दे के मैया जगा दे मैया मैया बोली मेरा मैया मैया बोली मेरा काम लेकर तारा माँ तुझे दिल ने पुकारा माँ तुझे दिल ने पुकारा तू मेरा सहारा माँ तुझे दिल ने पुकारा ओ शेरा वालिए मेरा वालिए मेरा वाली लोटा वाली माँ मेरा वाली लोटा वाली माँ मेरा वाली लोटा वाली माँ तुझे दिल ने पुकारा दिल ने पुकारा तू मेरा सहारा मुझे दिल ने पुकारा ऐसे बोलो प्यारे बोलो मिलके बोलो फिर से बोलो तू ही पाला है मुझको तूने मुझे संभाले तूने ही मेरे जीवन पल पल किए उजाले तूने पाला है मुझको तूने मुझे संभाले तूने ही मेरे जीवन में पल पल किए उजाले तूने ही मेरे जीवन में पल पल किए उजाले चरणों में तेरे मैंने ताना बनवाया तुझे दिल ने पुकारा जगदम्बा माता की
नमः स्वाहा। ओम नीलकंठाय नमः स्वाहा। ओम ह्रीं नमः स्वाहा। ओम ऐं ह्रीं क्लीं चामुण्डाय विच्चे स्वाहा। ओम ऐं ह्रीं क्लीं गणेश्वर। Now we make offerings in the other direction. Instead of saying Swaha, we say Swatha for our ancestors. Om Yamrajaय नमः स्वधा। ओम धर्मराजाय नमः स्वधा। ओम मृत्युंजयाय नमः स्वधा। सर्वकोपित्राय नमः स्वधा। सर्वकोपित्राय नमः स्वधा। तस्य विदुरवरेण्यं भर्गो देवस्य धीमहि धियो यो न प्रचोदयात् स्वाहा। ओम